Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. Thanks for watching us today. My name is Rich Tarani. We are coming to you from San Jose, and on our program today is Benny Czarny, who is the CEO of Opswat. Benny, hello.
Hi, Rich. Thanks for having me.
Likewise, thank you for making the trip out here to our studio. And first, I figured we'd start with talking a little bit about what your company does.
Okay, so Opswat is a 40-person company based in San Francisco, founded in San Francisco. We deliver development tools. So our products are libraries, XML files, frameworks, executables. Our target audience are software engineers, CTOs, product managers.
And how do your products help that audience?
Right, so we have two major products. One is Oasis framework, that it's a manageability framework. It's a set of libraries that enables client applications to assess, classify, manage third-party security applications. And we have Metascan, which is a multi-scanning solution that helps software engineers to detect viruses and other threats using 8 different antivirus engines.
Oh, interesting. And who updates those engines?
We are taking all of these updates and actually consolidating to one update that is coming from our websites and our servers.
Interesting. So do you work with other companies to get access to those engines?
Yes, we do. Actually, we OEM engines and we build the mother of all antiviruses delivered as one development framework. Yeah.
And in terms of the evolution of viruses, have you seen in the last few years it becoming more and more challenging? Are the virus writers getting more sophisticated?
Definitely. First, we see increasing amount of signatures. So for viruses, so the virus database. I mean, it's amount of viruses that are known to be in the wild is enormous. Talking about numbers between 8 to 20 million different viruses, which makes it very challenging to create a perfect antivirus solution. And then you see 90 vendors out there that trying to solve this issue. We haven't seen a perfect vendor out there. There's always going to be a gap of catching an outbreak. There's always going to be a gap in the quality. There's always going to be a gap in the detection rate, the speed, quality of the engine, stability of the engine. And by having our framework, we create something uniform, very stable, that is using 8 different antivirus engines at the background to increase the likelihood to detect any threat. Customers using that are obviously very sensitive about their data, and they can't trying to decrease the likelihood of any threat from touching their network or touching their digital data, media or data.
So what's the Oasis framework's roadmap for the future?
So Oasis, actually now we're going back to the Oasis framework. As I mentioned, we have 2 products. One is Metascan, the second one is Oasis.
Right.
So Oasis framework, it's a toolkit that focuses on manageability, on client manageability. Oasis framework manage over 1,500 different applications on 20 different operating systems. We have around 200 different methods that the framework can manage. And the framework can manage today things like update an antivirus, or check if the hardest encryption is really encrypting, or was a backup performed on this system. And the real value of Oasis is the amount of applications who can classify, detect, manage. So if any customer has a client-server application and the customer would like to empower the client to do other actions, such as detecting backups, managing antiviruses, then it's an ideal solution to use, to load, to develop with. What we plan to do with Oasis in the future is first, more applications. So if right now we manage over 1,500 different applications, we plan to be in 5 figures in a couple of years.
Wow.
So and also more operating system.
So is that allowing an IT department to have just a centralized dashboard to help them control?
Well, much more helping us to deliver a development toolkits to customers that build a management framework for an IT shop. So if a company, for instance, examples of customers that we have today is Cisco Network Access Control or HP Client Automation that already put together a dashboard. We're actually empowering this dashboard to do much more, to detect more applications, to classify more applications, to manage many more applications.
So in terms of educating your customer base and keeping them up to date on what you're doing, how do you go about doing that?
So first we have an annual user conference. We just had a successful one in May that we had 30 different companies attending this conference from came over from all around the world. In addition to that, we have microsites such as OESISok.com, AppRemover.com, FilterBit.com that focus on one feature of the applications and make it really simplify really the communication of this feature to a free tool available to the public use or just data sheets or videos that are available on these microsites.
So that's great. So for viewers looking for more information, now they know where to go. That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being on the program. Anyway,
sure. Thanks, Rich.
Very nice to meet you today.
Cool. Thanks for having me.